with you. A lot of women are not made or built like that. They're not built like that, because you have to be able to deal with men on their level to a certain degree. In order to be a sugar baby, I'm going to be honest with you. In order to be a sugar baby, you're going to have to step into your masculine a lot more than you step into your feminine. I know. They tell you that you have to be feminine. Yes, you be feminine to attract, but to be able to keep those boundaries in place where you keep this man on the leash. Because this man, if you want to look at it, when it comes to a sugar daddy, this man is not full grown. He's immature. He's literally willing to buy puss. Do you really think he's mature? He's not. So you have to step in your masculine and have an activated voice. You can't be meek. You can't be quiet. You can't be sitting back all pretty and not speaking up for yourself when you're in this type of relationship. It's a transactional one. So if you're not speaking up for yourself and you're being ran over and you're not even getting the transactions aren't even happening, but you definitely being, you're getting a lot of, you're having a lot of things happening to you. This kills not only your energy, but it kills you spiritually. Like my grandma said, I know some old sugar babies, and it is so hard for them to connect with men. It's hard for them to be vulnerable with men because they've seen the other side of it. And then plus, we have a whole push of sugar coaches teaching women to go after married men. Do y'all know how traumatizing that is? So here you go. You're in this lifestyle for a short time to have a come up, to get out of your lowest moments. And then you are entertaining married men. Does that bode well for the future of you even wanting to get married? Probably not, because it's ruined for you. And I'm not saying it can't happen, because I've done it. I've had some women that came through my platform, and we had to do a lot of inner work for them to be able to see men as even people other than dollar signs. And it is a lot of work for that woman. But she wasn't aware of that, because the person who taught her, the person who brought her into the lifestyle, they taught her based off the coins, the things that fold. And since it's coming from that perspective, and it was never meant to be, it was always meant to be passed on through your grandmother or your mother or a woman in your family or maybe even your cousin. And she was supposed to teach you the game, and she's supposed to teach you the game. And since she's not benefiting monetarily, she can actually teach you all aspects of it and tell you the downfall, the consequences, the positives, the negatives. You need to know all that before you make an informed decision. But sugar was never meant to be mainstream. It's always been a survival technique or method for women. It's not something that women, this is the reason why women don't look down on it. We don't look down on it. Most of us who understand what women go through and how women have to, get up from that lowest moment or get it out the mud or get it with no family or friends to help or assist. So women don't judge it. Well, most of us don't. We got others out here. I'm going to speak for myself. I don't judge it. All right. But I also know it wasn't meant to be mainstream. It was always meant to be something that you depended on in your lowest moment or the moment when you need to survive. If you need to survive, this is something that women have used to have that come up or to create resources or a lifestyle for themselves. But it was never meant to be packaged as a lifestyle or a business in the way it is now currently. And I know for a fact that most people are just teaching you how to interact and how to get a sugar daddy, but they're not talking about the downfall that comes with being a sugar baby. They're not talking about the downfalls that come with the lifestyle. And they're not even talking about, how do I get out? What's the exit plan? What that look like? Because every reputable sugar coach should be giving you an exit plan. She should be teaching you how to get out. Because it's not a forever plan. It's not meant for you to be an ever plan. Because you literally are in your masculine energy hustling to get ahead and to finding someone who's going to be able to support your lifestyle and pay for you so that you can get and progress up in life. So it's not a forever plan, because women, as women, we do not thrive under stress and hustle. We thrive in peace and calm. Just like your body seeks homeostasis, your spirit does also. But sugaring was never meant to be mainstream. And I think majority of men knew that those women existed. They always existed. So it's nothing new. Honestly, it's nothing new under the sun. Nobody creates anything. We just build off what's already there. All right, so I'm going to see what everybody got to say. But hello, Inner Circle members. Thank you for being here. Go ahead, someone announce it that I'm live, because I have a lot of live streams that's planned. So please announce an Inner Circle member that I am live. I totally forgot. So let me see what everybody's saying. I'm gonna go all the way up to the first comment. Okay. Is this the first comment? Okay. Absolutely. I hate this is so televised and promoted, also allowing men to get involved on the platform. All right. And see, that's another thing that my grandmother taught me, that the reason why it is not advertised, it is never meant to be, and it never will be, is because it's the secrets of a woman. Yes, men know that women are benefiting from a man taking care of her and that she possibly may be sugaring, right? But the secrets of a woman and the secrets of sugaring were never meant to be advertised. It was always meant to be the secret that a woman takes to her grave. And the thing is, when you all advertise things, when women are advertising these things, this gives men access to our secrets. And this means we're getting to the point we rarely have any secrets that they can't go find and talk about. These females out here selling and promoting the game, but in a pop culture way. This is why most of these females are escorts, because they don't even have the real game in lock. And thank you, babe. I was going to bring that up. When they don't find success in sugaring, they become escorts. And that's the sad thing about this. When they realize that there is going to be a small amount of men that is willing to pay for puss without ever receiving it or getting any of it, then they start to turn to escorting. And I keep seeing this change on social media. You can tell what they started out sugaring or attempting to. Then they start reverting to escorting. And instead of saying it's escorting, they're trying to package it as though my boyfriend. And I could probably, if I was really messy, I could name about 5 of them who have changed over to escorting, but was teaching sugaring. Just by watching the things that they have said and done. If you stay aware and pay attention, they're not hiding anything. You can see what has happened. And I think that is my concern right there. I'm not concerned about what older women are doing, because I feel like older women have their minds made up. They've had a personal experience with men. They have an understanding of men to a certain enough level to know what they're getting into them too. But I feel like when I see these really super young girls that are getting with these men and they don't have an understanding and they're not emotionally mature, they don't have a high EQ, that's problematic. Because what's going to happen when they realize that small pool of men who are willing to pay for pussy and never receive it is very tiny. And usually you're going to be dealing with the old man that don't have anything to give anyway. All right. He can't do anything. So that's the reason why he's doing it. And because he wants companionship, and he knows he's not going to be able to get companionship unless he exchanges it for a transaction, for money. All right. And so, and a lot of women, these women cannot handle themselves. Like, they want to look at these relationships as though it's a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, or even a husband and wife relationship, and treat it as such. And these things should be compartmentalized differently. Any woman is absolutely understanding the game and is in the sugaring space. She know privacy is gold, is king. You have to keep privacy. These women would never be on social media, by the way. They would never be advertising in that manner, because they already know they have to keep it private for what they're trying to do or accomplish. And they also don't have a plan for it to be a lifestyle. They absolutely have an exit plan and know when they're exiting stage left. Yes, exactly. It's a means to the end. It always has been. It's never been mainstream. It's not meant to be mainstream. It is something you teach your daughters about so that she knows that she has options if you can't be an option for her. If you can't get to her, if you can't help her, or you can't do anything for her, you want her to have all the information that she can possibly have so that she can survive in a world that does not love you. Unfortunately, the world is very cold. And you teach your daughters that. You have to teach your daughters the reality of what the world truly is. Facts. What exactly is your definition of sugaring? My definition of sugaring is it is transactional, but there is no puss exchange. He gets nothing but your companionship and time. Now, when you start getting into the territory of I ain't exchanging money for sex, then that means that you are an escort, or you could possibly be a prostitute. You take any and everybody. Remember, this is not a space of judgment. This is just telling you what it is. Yep, got pregnant. Now all hell broke loose. You probably saw it too. And I'm like, I can't. It's horrible. It's traumatizing. And I know that a lot of the young women who were following her was envious of her situation. This is the reason why I tell you all, stop being envious of these people on social media. Stop it. You don't know what they deal with. Because all of it came out in the live streams where she started indicating that he was always being possessive, that he be hiding her information like her passport and all her papers. She can't even leave the baby because she's scared he's going to take the baby and leave. Like, so you knew this man was toxic. You knew this man was off. And here you go, presenting on social media as though y'all have the perfect relationship. That's the reason why I don't F with content creators, and they don't F with me, just like y'all don't F with me either. Yep, you said it. Very true. A relationship is never supposed to be based on material things. There's more to it. It is. But sometimes I'm noticing that these young girls tend to trick themselves into believing because material things are happening, or you've been receiving material things, that y'all have more than that. And relationship is more than that. And the men who are just willing to settle on transactions, he is not the man for you. Nobody has morals. I think people do have morals. I think that we just don't see them as much. The people who have morals, they're at home relaxing and chilling, and they're just trying to live their best life. Yeah, women just don't have the ability to go as low as men can. It's not a game I want to play. And that's okay, because a lot of women are not meant for that game. They're not. And to deceive women to believing that every woman can be a sugar baby is a lie. I think if you're going to be an honest sugaring coach, you're going to tell her, look, it's not meant for everybody. Everybody does not have the cojones. Everybody does not have the mentality. Everybody does not have the will to be to play that type of game. Now, trust me, sugaring is a game. And if you don't like to play games, if you always lose at games, if you get frustrated with games, if you don't want to learn games, then you shouldn't be sugaring. Go sit down and let other people participate in that game that have the will and ability to do so. Y'all have to know when you have to bow out. Know when you have to bow out. Know when something is not for you. What are the screen names? I don't think I remember screen names. I think you just look, girl, she trending. She's literally trending on TikTok. Go look at Cindy and Pumpkin. There you go. All you gotta do is look at Cindy and Pumpkin and you'll find all the videos. Oh yes, consequences. There's consequences to everything. Now I'm just gonna tell you right now. If you are sugaring, there's consequences to sugaring. Because you're gonna view men differently. Because you're gonna be able to see the lowest form of man, and you're gonna think all men are like that when all men aren't, and you're gonna have to make sure that you emotionally compartmentalize your emotions to be able to deal with that. So there's consequences for trying to live that lifestyle, and I don't think the consequences are talked about enough. I think what happens is they're trying to attract people into the lifestyle, and they show you all these luxury things, and all of the women, the young girls, are envious and be like, why should I go to school and get this degree or have some type of career when I could just do that? When you may not be built for it, you may not have true understanding from it, because your mentor doesn't. Your mentor realized she may not even been in the world. Like, let's go ahead and break this down. Sugaring has come so mainstream that some people are creating business off of it, and they've never been a sugar baby. Like, if y'all are going to sit here and hire somebody to teach you to be a sugar baby, you better know their track record. You better get recommendations. You better make sure this person absolutely knows what they're talking about, because there's so much information on social media that people can just rinse and repeat. They can just copy and regurgitate. And that's what's happening with social media a lot of times anyway. Like when I be coming across all these young girls who are teaching sugaring and they ain't even been in this world a wet minute, literally 19, 20 years old, teaching you how to be a sugar baby when they ain't had enough experiences to be able to teach you how to run around a corner. When you start getting into sugaring, you better get you an old one. a one who has experience, where she can teach you how to deal with different types of men and different types of situations. Where if you ask her, hey, what happens if men don't give me my money? I already exchanged your services. Baby, you better know how to get your money. You better know how to get your dollars. That's the reason why I say that type of lifestyle is not going to keep you in your feminine energy. That type of lifestyle is going to keep you in your masculine energy. And if that's what you want, like I said, this live stream is not for judgment or to tell you shouldn't do something. It's really just to make you aware and to let you know it's always been around. It's always been something that your grandma, your great grandma, or some woman in your family taught you about. Love your grandma because all she taught you and you teach us. Absolutely. Absolutely. She started teaching me when I was 8 about what that thing do. And talked to me about how men are willing to buy what's between my legs. So I will never go hungry. She talked to me about never having a dry purse and a wet ass. It's a foolish woman's game to do so. And I remember being that young and I'd be like, I don't want to hear this, but I'm glad I listened. I'm glad I listened because she taught me consequences too, to my actions and realizing that there will be consequences for them. Please share the link, the TikTok of that influencer in the inner circle. I'm sure there are teachable moments. All right, if y'all think y'all can handle it, because it's traumatic. When I tell you it's traumatic, it's traumatic. I watched 2 of them and I was like, I can't watch no more of this. I just can't watch any more of this. I mean, they were going back and forth. I don't even know from all the videos. Y'all, I already knew what she was in the beginning when I came across her on my FYP. Because she's an influencer now. Because of the luxury content that she was putting out and all the things he was buying her. So I already knew what she was. But when they started digging into their relationship, she even talked about some things she should have realized. She should have realized she should have never had a baby for him. Especially when the ex-wife then came out. The daughter then came out. When I tell you the whole family then came out against Pumpkin and they let her know what type of man he was. And then she ignored it and had a baby by him still. Like, see, this is the things that women, if you're going to teach women how to sugar, teach these young women not to have babies by the sugar daddy. That should be number 1. Whoever taught her did not teach her well. True. Great topic. Young girls, I mean, always say, I'll just go get a sugar daddy like it's something. It is not nothing normal. It was always meant to be a secret that we take to our grave. If you had a sugar daddy or you had a man invest in you, you take that secret to your grave. You're not meant to have or create a lifestyle around that. And now y'all make sugaring normal. You've made it acceptable and you made it mainstream. And so this is also another way you put our secrets out there to other men. So now, before you might have had a small pool of men who are willing to pay for puss, but now you're going to have even smaller pool of men. Because now men are so aware that a woman may want his money, that even the ones who have money, they're very cognizant of it and very slow to absolutely get in that type of relationship anymore. So we had a good thing going before y'all started putting it on social media. Today's topic is such a great topic for young girls just developing. Great job, girl. Thank you. You're welcome. What do you feel is the difference between a sugar relationship and a man who's spoiling and providing in a relationship? Security. Security and safety is the difference. You can be yourself. Honestly, if you are sugaring, you're supposed to withhold part of yourself to be in that relationship so that you don't get emotionally involved with them or invested with them. So when I'm in a relationship that's being spoiled and provided for, I can just be myself. When I'm in a relationship when I'm sugaring, I need to keep part of myself away from this man because eventually it will end. It's not meant for a long time. It's only meant for a short time. It's not meant for me to create a lifestyle with this man, a life with this man, or have babies with this man. That is the difference. Now, I'm the first one who said your husband should be better than your sugar daddy because he should be. Like, the husband has higher standards than the sugar daddy. The sugar daddy is transactional. Like, you're supposed to make sure every time that you're interacting or spending time with them, there should be an exchange of money. When you are building a relationship, you get to invest yourself into it, and you get to be yourself, and you get to show up differently. You get to show up open. You can be vulnerable with this man. Like a sugar daddy, you're not supposed to even be vulnerable with them to a certain level because you know it's going to end. It's not a relationship. And when women sit here and trick themselves into believing it is a relationship or that it's similar to real relationship, vanilla relationship, if that's what you want to call it, this is how they get in a situation where you have a baby by him and you don't have any security. You don't have, and I know some of y'all don't believe in marriage, but marriage is the way to security also. So you wouldn't marry the sugar daddy. And that's the difference. A lot of times when you're in a vanilla relationship, a normal relationship, you want marriage. You want security. You want safety. You want to show up and be yourself. Do you teach emotional compartmentalization? Honestly, I do and I don't. Because I feel like that's something that happens when we have to do that. When we have to go to that level of trying to emotionally compartmentalize our emotions. This means that we are really just withdrawing. So like I said, I do and I don't. I don't teach. I teach you to kind of let people be who they are. And then you react and respond. And sometimes you don't need emotional compartmentalization when you have emotional intelligence. So those are like two different things. That's the reason I say I do and I don't. I don't go into detail about emotional compartmentalization because usually that is when you are withdrawing, you're isolating, you're pulling away, you're making sure you protect that part of yourself because you know that that relationship or situation isn't going anywhere. But I think that comes also with emotional intelligence anyway. When you teach, and I do teach emotional intelligence, I do teach how to be emotionally intelligent when you're dealing with people. So that is what I do teach. I do teach how to deal with your emotions and face them instead of hide away from them. But sugaring was never meant to be mainstream. It never was meant to be. It never should be. And it never should even be an option for mainstream. Because this is basically it's a woman's little secret of how she may have been able to pull herself out her lowest moment, or how she may have been able to pull away from an abusive family or abusive man. It may be her little secret and how she was able to build her foundation and create the lifestyle that she has. But she's supposed to take that secret and die with it, babe. She's not supposed to be on social media like, oh my gosh, this is how you sugar. Because social media is everybody. And everybody is not meant or do not have the wherewithal, do not have the ability to sugar. And when we put information out there, when people are not ready for it, and this is the reason why I may get flack. Y'all may not F with me because I don't put everything on social media. A lot of my content is very private because you have to. I'm training you for emotional intelligence so that you can be able to compartmentalize when needed and have the ability to look at things and understand consequences. And it's needed. And so when it is promoted as though it's mainstream and it's a normal way of life, and it isn't. It isn't. And no wonder that the women who have been in that lifestyle and have experienced so many things from that lifestyle, I can't even, due to, client privacy, I can't even go into the stories that I've heard from women who are in that lifestyle and they experienced abusive sugar daddies. They experienced unreasonable ones. They experienced men who were willing to grape them in order to get their money worth. So y'all have to realize that comes with it too. I know what you see on social media is the luxury component, right? Y'all see people going out into Chanel, trips, Europe. They're doing all these wonderful things. You're like, oh, I want that too. But realize when they're in the sugar relationship, it may not be what you think it is. People put what they want on social media. And usually we put the good on social media, not the bad. That's the majority that's human nature. Not to put the bad up there. And I think a good sugar coach, she would absolutely tell you the downfall of being a sugar coach. So if you're looking for one, I am not one, by the way. I'm not a sugar coach. I'm not a sugar coach. I don't teach you sugar. That's not my forte. I teach you more about mastering yourself and feminine energy healing and spirituality. Okay. I do not teach sugaring. I just came across a video and I was like, my grandmother taught me about sugaring, but she never taught me with that word because we never called it sugaring. We called it ladies of the night. And if you knew a lady of the night, she was dependent on a man for resources. He took care of her. And my grandmother taught me about how the world works, how a woman should never go hungry. A woman should never be homeless. A woman should always be provided for. And she taught me about the ways a woman can be provided for. But she taught me the consequences of being provided for in that manner and dealing with those type of men. And I think that is where sugaring coaches are dropping the ball. They're not teaching these young women about the consequences. See, as older women, we kind of know if we don't know the game completely, we know enough not to harm ourselves or hurt ourselves. We know enough. But I'm concerned more about the really young girls. It's like 19 and 20. And if you actually look, those 19, 20-year-olds, a lot of these really young girls are trying to teach you how to sugar. And I got 17 seconds, y'all. 15 seconds. Y'all know how they do me. 59 seconds, 59 minutes, and I'm off. I'm going to restart the live. Girl, don't reset that man.